What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrenching Wrecked. Finished up that thing, 2024 Street Glide. Now back to the old junk. This is what I like working on, much more anyway, but we are down to the last little bits. So I started laying it out. I do have it running and running, not riding, but it is running. Starts really easy. I got the exhaust loose right now. These were just kind of on here. I started looking, and I don't know how he had this set up, if it was this weird little bracket on the rear, but this will not line up at all where it needs to go on here. So I'm actually just going to cut this tab off and move that back a little bit. Front, I don't know. I think he had the front run with a drop bracket off of the pulley, or the sprocket cover. So I might throw the sprocket cover. Oh, no. Here's the dilemma. I have this sprocket cover, which is not notched for an E-start, even though the cam cover is. So I gotta cut this corner off right there to make it look more like this one. This will work. This will bolt up just fine, but the problem, or I gotta drill this out and then put a bushing in here, and I don't have that bushing. So I gotta figure out which one I want to use. I might have one or two more in the trailer. Maybe I'll take a look in the trailer. But one of those, we gotta get something figured out. I need a notched one, but also one that's accessible for the kicker shaft. But I'm gonna cut this bracket off, move this tab back an inch or so. I don't wanna do a double bracket and make it all goofy when it doesn't take that long just to weld it a tiny bit farther back. So let's get that grinder and cut this thing off. Cut it, smooth it, and then we'll re-weld a new one in. That one took off violently. Put a flap wheel on here and smooth that out real quick. Then we'll touch it up. Whew, that was almost bad. That disc just cracked on me. I almost hurt myself. That was on its last legs, apparently. But I want to kind of get the rest of these hard little bits, like the exhaust stuff, figured out, and we got to put a clutch cable in here today. So hopefully I can get this off the lift tomorrow. All right, where did that bracket go? Go. Unfortunately, this is really hot now. But let's see if we can get it bolted up on the exhaust. So it's just running a little T-bolt here. It slides in on the back side. Whew, this bracket's really hot. Very warm. So just by doing that, we're just going to move the bracket a tiny bit farther back to right here. That'll hug the pipe a little bit tighter too. Lay that out where it needs to be. And do I have a ½ inch here? No. This will actually let me jam this pipe in a little bit tighter on the frame too, which is good. I don't even know where my welder is yet. Yeah, that'll definitely be better. I like that. Okay, let me get the welder over there. And hopefully this will actually weld. That'd be nice. Have one that actually works out. So I'll set this on the head first. Position this where it needs to be. Trying to go for as square as I can get on the head flange. Kind of a pain to line this up where it's going to clear the head though. There. Stay. And we'll bring this in and over, right about there. Hopefully I have enough to get a ground down here somewhere. And here goes nothing. Helps to turn your welder on. Oops. All right. That good and tight on the head flange. One tack. Doesn't help that all this was stick welded at one point, but there we go. Much better. Now we have an exhaust that's actually bolted on. So I can loosen this. And the pipe will still stay on. And that's with a loose head mount. Perfect. That's gonna have to cool off a little bit, then I'll pull that off. We'll repaint this real quick, put a box behind it. But there is one Harley pipe. Clears the oil tank, plenty of room up here. Then we gotta figure out the sprocket cover. This is the one I want to use, but I can't unless I cut this off. So maybe we'll just section this, and then this should be able to go back on there. So basically, I'll keep this lower rib section, but we're cutting it here and down. So I'll grab a Sharpie and then we'll cut this down. Quick field trip to the vise. So I'm gonna have to use a cutoff wheel on aluminum, which I hate doing, but we're just gonna notch this real quick, get it kinda close, and then we'll dress the rest with the flap wheel. Look at that, it's like factory. Okay, I'm gonna put a flap disc on here. And trim that out as best we can. All right, look at that. Hopefully that should work. If I gotta take a little bit more off that corner, we can. But let's test fit it first. Oh, come on. Don't tell me the shifter. There we go. Come on, really? There's a dowel pin up top. Yeah, still hitting the starter. Barely. Just a little more trimming. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's hitting right there, so. More grinding. We'll be back when I'm done. A little more grinder time, so now it's all the way flush. So this should hopefully fit. Then we can figure out where the other exhaust is gonna go. Come on. Pin. There we go. Money. Money, money, money. Now, he has this bracket on here, but I don't know what he had it hooked up to. Because I didn't cut anything off, I don't think, on the frame below. This looks like it might line up there. Let's see what we can do for an exhaust clamp here. See if there's anything else. On the points cover. What else? Trans cover bolts, so that's these ones. Maybe you didn't have those hooked up. Axle adjusters, gas tank bolts, battery, backrest, throttle. All right. Probably should have checked this. Oops. Hopefully that clears. Did not check that. Alright, so we got 2 chrome bits. No exhaust mounts though. So we'll have to figure out a way to hang this rear exhaust or front exhaust. Let's get the kicker on. I'd be nervous. Sitting here looking at it, I thought the kicker was aligned backwards. I just didn't have it hooked up proper. Let's see how this does. Oh! Well. This might work. Just hand tightening the bolt because this will probably have to come off a couple times, but oh yeah, look at that. Didn't even check it, but we got plenty of space. Easy finger gap there. That'll be fine. Don't want to tug on that too much. We'll clock the spring 1 more degree for a little more tension too. It's a little on the loose side, but I don't like messing with those through the sprocket cover when those bolts aren't actually tightened down. So, let's figure out what to do for the front exhaust. For the exhaust, I think I'm actually gonna make a bracket off of here. I found this sitting over on the bench. So I got a 3/8 spacer, a longer bolt, and this bracket. So I think if I go bolt, bracket, spacer, this will get to tighten down here. And then I should actually just be able to use a T-bolt on the exhaust itself, right through here somewhere, kind of like that. I really don't know how this was laid out before, but he had this P-clamp on here. I can't use it. This would work just fine too. I mean, I could cut this back bracket and bring that in, but this is pretty much right where it needs to be for the exhaust. That right there actually I think looks pretty good. I'll have to drill 1 more hole in this somewhere in the middle. And it'll be on a T-bolt, so it'll be a little bit more adjustable. Or I cut this off and slide this bracket over, and then this could go right through into there as well. I mean, that's almost perfect too. A tiny bit lower. Be nice if I drilled that for a threaded bit too, but I think the inside clamp should be just fine right here. Actually loosen this exhaust up at the head. See where that actually wants to be, because we're pretty far down. Something like that up top. I think that's the move right there. Get rid of this clamp entirely. Or could do something like that, and then I don't have to replace any hardware. Might need a longer bolt. I got shorter ones so I can switch those both out. But we'll do this with a couple washers, and this will fit perfectly in here. I don't have to reinvent any sort of wheel. I think this should work. Good washer. Of course, the lift is right underneath here, in my way. And our clamp will come over, like so. Just grab a bolt. I don't know where the GoPro died, but got that all figured out. Little angle bracket, not too bad. It's a 1-inch bolt. I'm gonna put a 3/4 in there, just so that isn't rubbing on the case. It's just off of the case cover right now, but I'd like a little more clearance there. But everything's tightened down now. So make sure this one's snug. And then tomorrow morning when I get here, I have to do a very hard deep clean. But that's on there, rear one's on there. Still don't have it fully tightened because I don't have I guess I have a wrench right here now. But these aren't going anywhere. Still got to snug that upper one down. I actually don't want to full torque the rear because I got to paint this again. So we got to weld on there and paint. And that'll be good. So exhaust side's done. I guess we can put the air filter on and the throttle cable. Let's see if I can find the throttle cable. Ah. Man, what do I do here? I gotta pull those switches. Our lights don't work, remember? I keep forgetting. I don't know how I'm gonna replace those yet. And we got a clutch cable to install. So maybe we'll do that. I don't like doing this when it's up in the air, and I really don't. Maybe I have enough air in the line. Did have the compressor on to fill up a tire. Just ready to drop down. I'm just trying to figure out what else I need to do with this while it's up in the air, because I really want to clean this bench before I drop this down, because then I gotta bend over and pick it up. I mean, 2 seconds to swap that out, but brake light, tail lights, all the lighting is done, minus the front. Clutch cable is up top work. Master cylinder is up top work. Clutch adjustment would be kind of nice to do. You know what? I think we're gonna hold off. I think that might be the next video. Sectioning this off. I will be up here tomorrow. I'll tighten down the axles now. We can do that. And then should pretty much be about ready for its maiden voyage. Zip tie the battery down for now. Yeah, let me snug the axles down real quick before we wrap up. That'll be the last thing we do today. And then the rest of it will just kind of be down on the ground tomorrow after I clean all this crap up, because it's getting to me, the mess and the clutter. I've taken that and working on a bunch of different bikes at the same time. All right, rear rocker is good. Front rocker will need some love. Hopefully these are 3/4. Good. I'll do the axle itself last. Good. Fine, I'll grab a socket. Okay, then we just got the axle left. It's a little excessive, I know, but that's all I got. Handy. The rest are in my blasting box that's already put away. All right, and there we have it. A chopper that's almost done, minus throttle cable and clutch cable, but that will be definitely easier once I get it down on the ground. I'm gonna take it for a test ride probably before we figure out the light scenario. Then I gotta see at the house if I got another sealed beam bulb. But other than that, let's see how well she wants to start today. No throttle cables, so manual primes. Something's dragging on that kicker gear. Did it not engage? I can hear it. Well, that's not good. Yes, I'm gonna be looking into the kicker gear thing. Wasn't doing that until I put the spring on. More noises to figure out. Everything's good and hot now. I just had that too tight. No more noise. Yeah, it's something. I don't know if he's might be missing the washers on the kicker gear. Should be there at 12 o'clock. Go one spring looser. Throw this thing back on there real quick. I don't like hearing new noise, but it's definitely something on that ring gear to kicker teeth engagement. I might actually have to go back and check what the videos look like because I don't remember how nice all that starter stuff was. So strange. It's so strange. Something's wrong inside that clutch. Something's rubbing. Oh well. Something else to dig into later. That's unfortunate. So it doesn't do it when the kicker is all the way in the down position. I don't know if we have enough gas in here. Let's try. So this is the kicker down at the bottom. Unfortunately, I might have to pull the primary and the clutch to get to that. The only thing I can think of is if I didn't clock this properly. I know what it is. Now I know what it is. There's a thrust washer on the inside of these kickers. I didn't do the motor on this, so I never noticed it. But if you look, here's the kicker shaft, runs down through the motor mount, and then there's that thrust washer. That thrust washer needs to go around the little pin on the... Do I have another motor? Let's see. This isn't a kicker, but there's a thrust washer right here. So when your kicker shaft comes through here, the thrust washer grabs this. I don't have that. I mean, I have the thrust washer, but it's not in the right spot. See how this is just free spinning? You can see the tab of it right here. You can see it. Hopefully that shows up on camera. That guy right there. It's not lined up proper. So I'm guessing that's just allowing a little bit too much play. Oh well. Another video, another time. Thanks for watching, like, comment, subscribe, all those fun things. We'll catch you on the next one.